rules. When I awoke my master from his sleep, he attempted to possess a mortal's form. Diablo attempted to claim the body of King Leoric, but my master was too weak from his imprisonment. My lord required a simple and innocent anchor to this world, and so found the boy Albrecht to be perfect for the task. While the good King Leoric was left maddened by Diablo's unsuccessful possession, I kidnapped his son Albrecht and brought him before my master. I now await Diablo's call and pray that I will be rewarded when he at last emerges as the lord of this world.
Who can tell me who wrote that book? The character in the world, not just like the developer, but that was written in the perspective of a specific character that does exist in this game, and I will have to kill him. That is mentioned in Diablo 3. I'm trying to think if it was mentioned in Diablo 2. Probably not.
I gotta pawn some of this stuff.
How many games? Lazarus! Yes, the Archbishop Lazarus. Thank you! That's awesome stuff. I see many gamers complaining about random content now. I guess standards have changed. Well, it was always... The thing with random is you just can't throw random everywhere. Yes, the proper spelling is Lazarus. Yes. With a U. You can't throw random everywhere and expect it to be a good game. And it depends on how you implement it. In any shape or form, there's tons of variables that make it bad or good. Diablo is, I guess, a good example of how to make it work. XCOM is another good, of a good example of how to make it work because their levels are randomized. Actually, that was one of the aspects of development in Diablo 1 that
I gotta pawn some of this.
They looked like, you know, the sprites, because a roguelike is done in ASCII graphics, right? ASCII graphics is just like a character on the keyboard, a dot or a at sign or whatever. And XCOM was probably one of the first. I say one of because I don't know all of this stuff, but it was one of the first games to have introduced commercially some randomized levels with sprites. So it was a big deal. So Blizzard North was heavily influenced by that to make Diablo like a cool sprite game, and it works great. Where random can fail is if your stuff looks too generic. So, and now we're in hell.
I must be getting close.
Okay. I don't want to move forward because I want to finish my tangent. There's going to be a lot of tangents tonight. Diablo kind of works because the randomness changes every 4 levels. It's kind of like I talk about pacing sometimes, and if you watch the was it in my thoughts on Skyrim, I don't remember which, maybe it was during the Let's Play of Skyrim, I talk about pacing where Bethesda deliberately designs their areas to change environments, the colors, every 20 minutes or so. It's deliberate. So your eyes get to see new stuff. Oh man, it's amazing. And 20 minutes seems to be like the magic number in game design, where like Blizzard right now are making everything so like if you do a Greater Rift, if you do a StarCraft 2 match, if you do a dungeon in World of Warcraft, they pretty much all are designed to last 20 minutes, except if you're doing a raid. So, and in XCOM, your matches last longer, but like the levels are designed in such a way that every mission will shuffle a little bit. Like sometimes you're in the urban area, sometimes you're in a cave, sometimes you're inside a spaceship, sometimes. So they drastically change it per mission. And in Diablo, even like inside a cave, the way the rooms or the hallways are set up are going to be different from the, say, the catacombs, or say hell, which I'm in right now. So the structure is very different. Yeah, 20 to 30 minutes minimum. Yeah, so 20 minutes is about the same. So a floor in Diablo probably is not a 20-minute thing, but it's like the average should be about that. So if you explore everything or if you just decide to skip, the average should be about 20 minutes as well. And you get every 4 levels a new tile set. Hellgate London was a good example of failure because they failed to do that. I mean, they had sewers, they had outside city, New York type of, well, it's London. They had that, so the streets, the sewers, and they had inside buildings. And that was it for pretty much all of it, with the exception of a few unique rooms, like the sewers would sometimes connect to like subways, and there was one room where like in the expansion you had like outdoor, not a forest, but outdoor areas and stuff like that, but like didn't work really well. So all the sewers looked the same, and the randomization wasn't well adjusted for that, because they could have done a better job at just the engine to shuffle stuff.
Too much baggage.
Yeah, too much baggage. Scroll phasing. So, what was I going on? Yeah, so the stigma with randomization is that it's lazy for a developer to just do stuff automatically. Well, let the computer do the content, and we'll just make the rules. Holy shit! That's a lot of stuff. Good thing I have a lot of potions. Ah!
Not enough mana.
I don't care about right-clicking. That's why. Ah! That's a problem. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, I'm so dead. Inside buildings, street in London, subway lines, sewers. The stations didn't really count because those are like your base. Yeah, there was hell, which was more like the Oblivion plane in Oblivion. Oh, I'm back here. Oh, that sucks. Titan Quest. I can't comment on Titan Quest, but whoa, man, I have some killing to do still here. I haven't saved in a while. Normally I wouldn't mind, but it's like I'm streaming right now. It's like kind of boring to see the same stuff again. But it'll do. I don't think I'm properly prepared for hell anyways. So yeah, there's a stigma that randomization is kind of a lazy way out. And also people nowadays, they also associate that with Minecraft. Or the new one that's coming out. Well, the new one. No Man's Sky, which is not a Minecraft game, but whatever. So, yeah. Like, what's the appeal of an infinite amount of content when that infinity is just boring? So, right? So it's like people don't like that. Like cities or town? Oh, I'm there? Oh, crap. I saved that far back. Okay, this is... I don't even have a crown. Replace, there we go. I'm gonna save here just to increment. The lack of melee splash abilities to sort of get a fixed enabled to by ending World 1. Yeah, I agree with that. Are there any other games that have done Zero Town? That was the question I was... Okay. Done well? Well, aside from the visuals of, say, XCOM, which I think does like the urban area really well, I'm trying to think of another game. I should probably escape. Yeah, I don't think I can answer that question, really. It's, I can't think of anyone. But then again, I haven't played, like, every single game that has, like, randomization also. It's like...
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Cut me some slack, right? I'll buy a shield this time.
What can I do for you?
Are there any shields here? Of course not. What is it with you and shields? You hate shields? They're villages. Yeah. Procedure generated towns. I think most games that apply randomization, you have to look at it from
I sense a soul
the
in search of answers.
indie developer. Like, I'm hesitant to answer with Dwarf Fortress. But that game, like, does everything from, like, spawning centuries of rock formations and civilizations that rise and die and stuff like that. Done a random, I can't recall have many areas, non-ruined, discarded series of town. Which one?
What ails you, my friend?
Now I'm curious. Oh yeah? Project Zomboid? I mean, in today's gaming
I gotta pawn some of this stuff.
society, I get... Oh, buckler.
Too much baggage.
No, just pick it up. In today's society, I guess, the best implementation of randomness or random generated content is when it's done very subtly. So, subtly, is that even a word? In a very subtle fashion, so you don't rely on it, but it emphasizes or it helps with your game. I think, say, Destiny, for example, does a lot of randomization in the items. Same thing with, like, Borderlands. The Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, and Skyrim has some randomization in how they handle loot. So that kind of stuff. As far as dungeons, you gotta understand also that it's a really expensive thing to implement. Especially since graphics sells, right? So you want your game to look good. And if you look at if you look at Diablo 1, you can see the tiles because of the lighting, right? And Diablo 3, in comparison, is nothing like this. It handles like chunks of environments as opposed to individual tiles. And
I gotta pawn some of this stuff.
that makes a big difference. So you're allowing yourself to look better. You make better visuals, but you're sacrificing the randomness of it. Like, there's a lot of components that make these rooms, whereas in Diablo 3, the chunks are bigger. Actually, I was kind of like disappointed by that, but I still make it work. I don't know about Starbound. To be honest, I like to look over tiles, of the tiles over chunks. I like the flow of the structure of tiles. Chunks are good, but it's like you gotta really... And one thing I've noticed is that, like, I'm building my game with tiles, but it's in 3D space, so it's like even more. It's more complicated. But it's really expensive on the loading.
Too much baggage. I gotta pawn some of this stuff.
It's got to generate in 3D space, but you can have faster generation and better graphics if your chunks. So some tricks that some developers have figured out is that you work in chunks, and then each of those chunks shuffle their tiles, so you can have a little mix of both.
This stuff.
Still more expensive though, but
Hail and
how's the game coming along? We've put a lot more focus in... I'm standing in acid, hang on. We spent more time establishing more than caves. If you followed my blog, like most of the screenshots that I have are like caves, because the prototype demo was essentially just a bunch of caves. How to make caves look natural was the goal. If we figured out how to do caves, then we can do pretty much anything else. Which, in hindsight, I still like the way that Diablo 1 handles their caves. But anyways, So a lot of attention for the past 2 years have been on caves and how to make